Okay, here we go. It's Sunday and I'm running out of natural light, so I'm going to try and keep going quickly. Drinking my Zen tea and trying to stay in a good mood. I'm trying to be nice. I have a feeling I could go off the rails on this one. Let me just read this quote, and I don't know where it came from. It says, "Great work doesn't always succeed, but work that succeeds is almost surely great." Think about that. And if we're talking with regards to the music business, it's something that I believe in. I work with a lot of artists over the past 9 million years, and countless projects, some not even in the music business, some just in any form of production or sales or like a product that's being developed. If I've found, and I don't know that you can prove me wrong, if a product is great, if an artist is great, if their production is great, they have a chance at success. If they are not, they don't have any chance. And my proof to that is something like Paris Hilton's record. For instance, here's someone that had access, who had money, who had notoriety, public fame, all these different kinds of things, almost like like an influencer on YouTube or Instagram or something like that would happen. Yet when she tried to do a record with top-notch people, Scott Storch being one, several other industry stars, it failed miserably. Why? Because it was garbage. So the public will be fooled to some degree, and then it comes to a halt. How can you relate to this if you're an independent artist or someone developing something new? You know if your product is any good, if your record is any good, if your track is any good, if your singing is any good. And if you do know that, you're not looking for ways to beat the algorithm or find the back door or the secret sauce, or hire some PR person with the secret sauce to get you some traction. It tends to not be that much work. Even for the major label artists, even for major film stars, it's just not that much work. If the thing is great, it will find the audience, and or the audience will find it. If it's not great, you could promote it like crazy and push it like crazy and get it a certain amount of publicity, but in the end it'll fall flat, because you just cannot fool people to the point where something that is garbage will be perceived long-term as something good. That's why shelf life will just completely run out for a crap product. Airplay will run out. Clicks, spins, streams, all those things will slowly just disappear or quickly disappear if it's a snake oil sales job. Very uplifting stuff for you right there. I'll tell one of my crazy stories. I had mentioned, maybe going back to the first episode, my Michael Jackson, O.J. Simpson story, which was kind of a wild one. I was working on Michael Jackson's record, History. It was 1994 at the Hit Factory in New York City. and it went on for 11 months. But somewhere in the middle of the summer is when the murder happened, or murders happened, that OJ was arrested for, and chased in the Bronco and all that kind of stuff. Now, if you're a millennial, you have no idea what this is. But anyway, I could give a shit. The Hit Factory was a 6-story building, and in the basement there was a small gym, probably the size of my living room. And I would go down there and work out when I was bored and there was nothing to do, and there was occasional time for that. Down in the basement was the entrance to the studio from the street, which could be accessed. Michael Jackson used to drive in a van into an elevator, a freight elevator on the street of 54th Street, go down to the basement. They had a parking garage underneath, or a parking area underneath. He would get out of the van, go down a small hallway to a little elevator that went up to the first floor where 2 of the studios were that we were working in our little bunker called Studio 3 and 4 at the Hit Factory. And the project was called Sherman at the time because it was a secret project and no one was allowed to know the name of it even. So anyway, I'm down there working out one evening, I think it was. And there was never any warning as to when Michael would show up. And apparently he did while I was in the gym, and I was by myself, and there was a small TV on the ceiling, hanging from the ceiling. And I mean small, like, it's 1994, things were different. And the TV had on something to do with, I can't remember the exact details. I think that OJ was being taken into custody at this point. So it would be like 4 o'clock in the afternoon in California where he was getting arrested, 7 something in New York where I was. I'm watching, and I've got like 2 dumbbells in my hand or something, and I'm watching OJ get taken in. And I feel someone's sort of like come in the room and stand next to me looking up at the television screen at the same time. And it's Michael. And my initial response always, whenever he would come in the room, would be like, okay, don't do any double takes because that might freak him out. And okay, it's Michael Jackson, 1994. And I'm looking at the TV watching O.J. Simpson be arrested for murder. And Michael says, oh, wow, O.J. And I looked at him, and he looked at me, and then he just walked out of the room and went up to the studio. And I figured that was my cue to actually get upstairs and make like I was going to be, back in the room working with all the rest of the guys.